Here we are, the series finale of this series. In all seriousness, this was fun to put together, but man, was it hard, especially this last group that we're covering today. Also, I apologize for the lighting. If it gets dark in some areas, I try to have a light on behind me, but just bear with me and ignore it. I apologize if the lighting is just a little off. All right, everyone, welcome back to Dugout Talk, and today we conclude the contract extension series, breaking down the last place teams from last season. I'm going to warn you, this video is going to be short. In some cases, there just is not much to say, and this group by far was the hardest to pick players for. I'll give my contract offers and my case for the players to get paydays. With that said, let's conclude this series and hop right into the video. Up first, we have the best last place finished team in baseball, the Boston Red Sox. Boston's 78 wins would have gotten them fourth or third place in every other division in baseball, which just goes to show how good the AL East is. My pick for the Red Sox is outfielder Alex Verdugo, and to me, this is a very sneaky pick for a contract extension. If I'm Kyle Bloom, I would at least talk to him about sticking around long term to help them get back to their winning ways, because let's face it, it's the Red Sox. Even when they suck, they're not that far away from being contenders again. Verdugo has been quietly under the radar good in his 4 year career, and it's a good thing the Dodgers traded him because he's been an everyday outfielder for the Red Sox since 2020, deservingly so. If he had stayed in LA, he just would not have gotten the playing time. That's just being honest there. Verdugo has a career slash line of a 286 batting average, 341 on base, and a 772 OPS, only 294 strikeouts with 146 walks. He's a guy who puts the ball in play, occasionally will hit the ball over the fence, but he's better known for just making contact, putting the ball in play, and simply doing his job on a daily. Like I said, he's been quietly under the radar good for the Red Sox. He'll be a free agent after next season, and to me, this is the perfect time to offer him an extension. Because, like I was saying, it's the Red Sox. They always find a way, even when they seem down in the count, they seem to find a way to stay competitive. My offer to Verdugo is 5 years, 63 million, making him 32 at free agency, buying out his final year of arbitration and extending him for 4 years in what would be free agency. I don't think Verdugo is a $100 million guy, to be honest. In fact, as good as I think he is, unless he continues to improve and he can add some power, I wouldn't even put 80 million towards him alone. This contract gives him about 12.5 million a year, which is still solid for a guy like Verdugo with those numbers. I think it's the perfect contract for him. I think this is relatively affordable for the Red Sox, especially down the road. Up next, we have the Colorado Rockies, and boy, I'm glad I didn't pick Brendan Rodgers for this one because I nearly did. Rodgers potentially will miss 2023 because of a shoulder injury, and to me, he is now officially a busted prospect for the Rockies. They've gotten very little from him up to this point, and I feel bad for him because he's definitely one of my favorite players on that team. It just sucks to see him get such crummy luck. So in this case, I'm going with Randall Grichuk. Grichuk isn't anything special as a player, but he's a guy who just goes out there and does his job, similar to Verdugo. In 495 games since 2019 between the Blue Jays and Rockies, he's hit for a 247 batting average, 289 on base, and a 731 OPS. It's nothing stellar, but he does hit the ball over the fence, doesn't really walk a lot, and he's almost guaranteed an IL stint every year. But when he plays, he's still a respectable bat to have in the lineup for the most part. Uh, just to give some inside numbers, 453 strikeouts to 99 walks. Yeah, it's not great, but he does have 84 home runs. That's about 21 home runs a year. More than respectable. And when he's healthy and plays a full season, he's more than capable of hitting 30 to 35. I mean, for the Rockies, they don't need to break the bank on Grichuk unless he has a breakout year. I think this may be the last time we see Grichuk because he is a free agent after this year. He's 32 currently, but with the universal DH, I think he could slide into that role for the Rockies after Charlie Blackmon retires, which could be sooner rather than later. But my offer to him, which may be overpaying, is 3 years, 42 million, with an option for a fourth year. Grichuk hasn't demanded a trade from Colorado, and to be honest with you, that is saying something considering where the Rockies are just as a franchise. His willingness to stick around, not really going anywhere anytime soon. I think the Rockies would be dumb to at least not try and extend him and keep him around. Plus, if he's slotted into the DH role, I think he'll be more than okay in that spot. Up next, we have the Kansas City Royals, and for this one, I'm going with their closer, Scott Barlow. Sure, I could have said Bobby Witt, but let the kid get one more season under his belt. If he kills it this year, absolutely get him locked up. But it's not urgent for the Royals to lock up Witt at this time. However, I think Barlow being extended would give their bullpen some relevance during this rebuild as they also try to get back to winning ways. Barlow has been brilliant for the Royals the last 2 years. He's 30 years old. He's kind of nearing the end of his prime, but honestly, I think he's only going to get better. In 140 games since 2021, Barlow has a 2.3 ERA, a 1.1 whip, 40 saves, and 148.2 innings pitched. He also has 168 strikeouts to 50 walks. He's very underrated. And there is a reason the Royals aren't sold on making Aroldis Chapman their closer at this point because Barlow is just shine for the Royals. My offer to Barlow is very team friendly. It's 4 years, 34 million. He'll be a free agent after next season, and to be honest, Barlow could easily get more money if he has another stellar year this year. I'm actually going to do something I haven't done in this series. Right now, I'm going to start Barlow off at 434. But if he has a year similar to what his last 2 years have been, I'm upping his pay to 4 years, 46 million with a club option for a fifth year. 434 is good for an aging arm, but 3 years of excellence deserves higher yearly pay. Keep him at 4 years, though. I don't have an issue with that. Up next, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I will be real, I had to look at my notes because I simply forgot who I picked. Yes, Brian Reynolds is the easy choice for the Pirates. However, I'm going to give an outlandish take. The Pirates are not far away from competing. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me to see them lose less than 90 games this year. They have Orioles energy from last year, and I think the presence of Andrew McCutchen will help this team perform at least to a respectable level. Anyway, I know Reynolds demanded a trade out of Pittsburgh, which I can't blame him for, but he is no doubt the centerpiece of the Pirates' future success, and the Pirates need to figure out how to keep this guy around. Since 2021, Reynolds has a 283 average, 368 on base, and an 861 OPS slash line, 51 home runs, 260 strikeouts, and 131 walks with 311 hits in 304 games. I mean, the guy's a pure hitter, and he's a switch hitter on top of that. He puts the ball in play, hits home runs, hits for a solid average. He was an all star starter in 2021 as well. He deserves more respect from the Pirates, and I understand there have been negotiations to keep him around, but man, Pittsburgh, please just give Reynolds what he's looking for. It's really not that hard. I believe Reynolds is looking for 8 years. With that said, my offer to him is 7 years, 105 million, but I'm including a player option for an eighth year and an opt out after 3 years, and including incentives for winning awards and postseason at bats. Reynolds has more than earned a payday for the Pirates. I think it's criminal they haven't rewarded the guy up to this point. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna be nice. Up next, we have the Oakland A's, and my fantasy pick is James Caprillion. Oakland doesn't do a thing as far as spending goes. I know, but they really should extend this guy because he is their best starter in the rotation. Like, come on, ownership, please do something for your poor fans that are still around. Please. Caprillion has yet to really break out, but his career hasn't been a laughingstock. 4.2 ERA, 257 innings pitched, 1.29 whip with 225 strikeouts and 102 walks. I think it's only a matter of time before he comes around. I think whenever the A's get to a point of winning again, Caprillion is the guy that should be leading that rotation. My fantasy offers 4 years, 40 million. I know there's no way this is happening, but even for Oakland, this is dirt cheap. 10 million a year is criminally inexpensive for baseball. And lastly, the last team of this series, the Washington Nationals. And I do have hope for the Nationals to an extent, but right now they have a lot of guys who haven't proven they deserve a big payday. But I think this year a lot of those guys can make cases for the future. In the meantime, though, I'm going with Hunter Harvey to be extended. I was shocked the Orioles let him go so early. This guy's supposed to be a top bullpen arm and could easily be a steal for the Nationals. Last season, in 39 and a third innings pitched, he had a 2.52 ERA with a 1.14 whip, 45 strikeouts to 12 walks. I mean, the potential is there, and if he can be healthy, he's going to be their brightest arm in the bullpen, hands down. My offer to Harvey is 6 years, 50 million, buying out his final two arbitration years and extending him 4 years past free agency. He would be 34 at the end of free agency. The Nationals could easily have him through his prime years, and they will need a solid closer to help them win tight games in the ninth inning, and I think this is where you start. 650 is extremely team friendly for a bottom feeder like the Nationals, even with the Albatross contract that they have in Patrick Corbin. All right, that concludes the series. One player each team should extend before opening day 2024. If you like the content, be sure to hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. We are working on getting daily content on the YouTube channel and are working on getting weekly podcast episodes out on SoundCloud. We thank you for your support, and we will see you all in the next one.